This video I will try to explore how the super keyword can be used to access the method of a superclass. So I have a class which is called class initialization, for which has the main method, and there are three other classes, class AA, and there is a class BB that extends AA, and there is a class CC that extends BB. So I have an instance method in class AA, which is called an instance method, and it's trying to print from class AA. The same instance method is overridden in class BB, which prints this one from class BB, and then again in class CC, which extends class BB, that method is overridden. So what I will do, I will create an object here of CC, and then that object will call the instance method. So if I do that, it will essentially call the instance method of class CC definitely. And let's see what happens. So it says from class CC, that means this method is called, which is expected because the object is of class CC, and it's an instance of class CC, so it will call the instance method. Now, if inside that, in that method we have a super keyword, and we try to call the same instance method with the super, what will happen is it will call the instance method of the superclass, which is BB. So let's see whether that calls BB. We are expecting first this statement to be executed, because that instance will call CC will call this instance method, and when this method is called, this will be executed first, and then this super we should call this instance method, which is the instance method of superclass, and then this should be printed. So first from class CC, then from class BB should be printed. And yes, that's what happens. Now let's say we want to call the instance variable, which is an integer, of superclass. So instead of calling this one, it's trying to call the superclass instance variable. So that should be 55. So let's see if it prints 55. Yes, it does. So that's how we can do it. Now there is no way if the instance method of the superclass one above class can be called. So what I'm trying to say is, from CC class, it cannot call the instance method of class AA. There is no way. There is no super. It cannot go one class above. So there is no super. It just has to be super. So it can go only one class above. It cannot go to, basically, I wanted to say it cannot go two classes above. It can go only one class above. So it can call its superclass method, but not the method of its superclass's superclass. So that's what it is. However, if this method was not overridden in the superclass, so if this method, we disable this one, comment this out, then this one will be able to call the method of the superclass's superclass. So then this should be able to call the instance method of class AA. So now we are expecting it to print from class AA, because this is not overridden. This method is not implemented in its immediate superclass. So it will look for that when it will find the super command, and when the super command will try to call the instance method, it will first look at the superclass, and if it cannot find the method in the superclass, it will go one class above, and as a result, in one class above, the superclass's superclass has that method, so it will call that. So we should now expect class AA, because this method was not there. So that's how it is. And let's see what happens if we disable this instance method as well. Instance variable as well. So if we do that, it cannot call. So it is giving it cannot call that. So it cannot go one class above. So its Actually there is already a compilation error, because it's saying that the super does not have BB does not have that. Is create field A in type BB, so it cannot call. So we have to remember that for instance variable, this thing is not applicable. It has to be there. If we try to call super instance method, then instance variable, then it has to be there. Now this one should of course print 555, because this is just calling this instance variable, so that's fine. But if we have a super, if we want to write super A, then this one has to be in the super class. So this needs to be commented out. So it doesn't work for the instance variable. If the instance variable is not present in the super class, it will give a compilation error. But for instance variable, it will go one class above, and it will keep going one class above to see if it can find an instance variable in the super class. So we can check one more thing. If it is not there, then of course this will not be an overridden method, so it will not find that. So basically it cannot be an overridden. So this thing then will give an error, compilation error, because it cannot find the instance method in any of the super classes, so it will give a compilation error. So it has to be, the method has to be present. If we want to use super, the method has to be present, maybe not in the immediate super class, but one class above it has to be present, or like even one class above it could be, it has to be present, otherwise it will give an error. While for instance variable, it has to be present in the immediate super class. So that's what it is. So I just wanted to talk about this issue in this variable in this video.